A lot of
Or
copies being written and read by journalists who mourn the passing of journalism as we knew it. And there's this whole new world. The younger people don't pay any attention to the old world. And is it better for us, or what's your own take on it?
my own take, one of the things I take away from this 2.5 year visit to another planet, including visiting back with traditional media companies, is that I am harsher on the traditional media companies than I am on Google. Though I'm sure people at Google will think I'm too critical of them on some things, and I am critical of them on some things. But what really bugged me about the time I spent with traditional media were a couple things. One is how late they were to understand the new digital world and how the internet changed the game. And they had to change and play a new game, and they weren't doing that. The book you interviewed me once that I wrote called Three Blind Mice was about how the three television networks, which were dominant, missed the cable threat, the threat from the new technology, which in the 80s and early 90s was cable. And they missed that, and they were late. They could have invested in cable, owned cable. They didn't do it. They were afraid of the cost, short-term thinking. And the same thing happened here with traditional media. Didn't invest, didn't plunge into that digital world and the internet world the way they should have, and they waited too long. And I came away with a sense, when I hear people in traditional media today whine about, oh, woe is me, they're doing these terrible things, I have no sympathy for that at all. I mean, I come away thinking you've got to, someone, the head of Nielsen Company said to me, he's a former GE executive who's now the CEO of Nielsen, he said to me, there are two types of people in this world. There are people who lean forward and there are people who lean back. And the people in traditional media were leaning back. And in this new world, which is changing so fast, you got to lean forward. And the other thing I learned, and I write about at some length in this book, there's a conceit that people in Silicon Valley have that that the internet is the most transformative technology that the world has ever seen. That's crap. It's not the most transformative. Electricity was much more transformative. In fact, you wouldn't have an internet without electricity if you think about it. It powers everything, including the internet and our laptops and everything else. But what's different about this period of change than any other period of change is the speed of change. It is all happening in an eye blink. And that creates an enormous amount of insecurity in executive offices, and it should. People are terrified, and why shouldn't they be?